What it do? See what the camp sound like a lamp, big boss. K-Po top boxing, fucking my soliloquy. Remember tough times don't last. Good people do the love yourself. Call me to find out maybe matter. Peak game, peak game. 84s on what? Swing. How y'all doing, man? Y'all didn't know we cussed out. You know what we talking about. That boxing. Before we get a main entree, the main dish, gotta introduce our second host, future Hall of Famer legend. Salute to all our soldiers for real. Vote in the hustle, aka Coach B. Let them know how you doing, brother.
Hey, what it is, family? Y'all heard what the time is. We clutched up, we clutched out. Y'all know what we finna talk about. That boxing, for sure. Let's get straight to it. If God woke you up, He put breath in your body, everything else is extra. Get up, do you, be you, and take care of the fam. With all that being said, I'm gonna pass it back to K-Po. Let's continue the show and go ahead and let them know how we flow.
We got another fight, man. Another one. Gary Antoine Russell. Gary Antoine Russell. Andy Hiraoka. That boy strong in the mud. Coach, what you see in that fight? And did you agree with Gary Antoine Russell winning? Let me know something.
I'm gonna skip to the judges on this one. I'm gonna go straight to the end of the fight. Now, if you've been around the channel, family, y'all know I'm a fan of the Russell brothers, whichever one it is. You know what I'm saying? In the ring, I'm a fan of the Russell brothers. That's why I adapt a lot of my style personally when I was training. That's where I got a lot of the things that I do and a lot of the characteristics from when I was actually going to try to pursue the sport of boxing. And even with some of my training, if I see it in you, I'm gonna incorporate their fighting style. But I can go on and on that. I can get on the soapbox about that. But again, Antoine Russell and the judges. I don't know what y'all had going. I don't know what y'all seen. I don't know what y'all felt. But me wholeheartedly, I think the brother knew it in the corner. Big brother Gary Russell Jr. He knew it in the corner. But you got to accept what the judges call. I do agree that Antoine Russell won, but I don't like the unanimous because it definitely was not a unanimous decision. Excuse me. And like I said, these are my guys. These are my guys. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. It wasn't unanimous. I would have gave it a majority decision or a split decision, and it's not any knock on my boys. But at the same time, I seen small chinks in Antoine Russell's armor that he's displayed in past fights as well. He likes to get into these firefights with some of these guys who like to go to war. When I seen that last night, I was like, "Ooh, he better not get into the blender with this guy because he adores fighting in this manner. His culture adores fighting in that manner, and all he did was take his culture into the ring. Andy, you could tell he was ready for war. He wanted to bang all night. But at the same time, Antoine Russell kind of had his spurts where he would box him. And honestly, looking at that match, the 1-2 down the middle, again, like I said earlier, that turn. If he would have 1-2 down the middle, turned him and shot two more down that window, down that pipe, man, he would have killed him all night. He wouldn't even had to get in the all out war on the inside with him. I know they was calling, that was telling him to touch his body, even in the corner. His big brother said, touch his body when you're in there. But at the time, yeah, at the same time, you gotta turn them and take your shots when necessary. And that's the same thing I seen it. But Antoine Russell wasn't doing it. He did it sometimes. He let it roll sometimes, but he got away from it. But I think, like I said, if he would have boxed a little bit more in this match, he would definitely would have got the unanimous decision. And for Andy, I see this guy being in trouble for a lot of guys in this weight division because he simply, like Capo said, you're not knocking him out. Dude got crimson chin. He looks strong. He fights strong, and he gonna give you hell. He ready for war. And I don't see too many other guys calling this dude's name or asking, hey, I want to go fight him regardless of what side of the pond he on. It's not too many guys gonna bring him back over here to America and say, "Hey, I actually want to fight him," because he, like I said, he gave one of the better fighters in this division a run for their money. In my opinion, like I said, I didn't see unanimous. I seen split or majority. But again, Andy is sharp. He's gonna be sharp. If he can get some extra set of eyes in there to teach him a little bit more boxing, he's gonna be trouble because he needed to use the jab more and he needed to work off the jab more and work on them angles. He fights swell. He fights hella good moving backwards. But I said Gary Antoine Russell, he gonna have to kind of sucker him into coming forward, and he did at times, and that's when he had his moments, and that's where the judges kind of got the separation and gave him the fight. But with that being said, good fight, good win. Continue to keep moving forward for my Gary Russell brothers, and I'm gonna support y'all 100%. Again, not a bad fight from Andy either.
Man, I feel like Antuanne Russell, as great of a talent as he is, Andy Hiraoka, I have to say that boy name, was getting with Antuanne Russell. Like, and I want y'all to pay attention to there's a segment where Mr. Gary Russell slapped that boy on top of his head and said, "You pissing me off."
Yeah,
He said,
I enjoyed that moment.
he said, "You pissing me off. Hey, stop standing in front of dude, right? Get your shots off and turn him, man. What are you doing?" Because I'm watching the fight and I'm seeing Andy Hiraoka, he start going against Russell's body. Like and it was like a couple of rounds. It was one round Gary wasn't throwing no punches. And I'm like, hey, he might stop Gary. I mean, it was just like he was just taking the body shots. And he was trying to hold, but that boy Andy Hiraoka was too strong. And I'm just like, dude, like, bro, you need to throw something and constantly be turning this dude. So I mean, Gary, I mean, like I said, he has. I don't think it was unanimous decision. I was cool with if they would say split or majority. Andy Hiraoka came to fight, bro. And once, I mean, early on, I think those early rounds is what cost him the fight because he was trying to fight off the back foot. He was trying to get Gary to come to him. And then after a while, he was like, F it, let's fight. And he went to Gary and he had to stop backing Gary up. And if he would have took that approach from round one, he would have won this fight. He probably would have stopped Gary Antuanne Russell.
Hmm.
Because I feel like Gary underestimated this dude. That's what I feel, truthfully, Coach B. I feel like he underestimated this dude.
Hmm.
Man, this dude is strong, right? He go to the body, he punch violently. You got to beat this dude with IQ. You have to fight, have a complete fight when you fight this dude. That's just what it boils down to. You can't sit there and think, oh, I'm getting Antoine Russell. I could stand in front of him. No, bro. You got to systematically break this dude down by using IQ, landing short shots, fighting long, fighting mid range, count throwing in between his shots. You have to fight a complete fight. This is a fight where everything, your long range fighting, your mid range fighting, your inside fighting, feet work, defense, your offense, the defense, countering, everything. You got to put everything on display against this type of fight. Whereas some fighters, you may be able to just apply pressure, or you may be able to just box, or you may be able to just throw in between their shots. But this dude, you got to have your whole arsenal. You got to buckle up your chin strap. Your coach got to buckle up his chin strap. Y'all got to bring it. I feel like Mr. Gary Russell brought it, but Gary Antoine Russell didn't bring it. Coach, was there something coaching wise that you saw from both guys fundamentally that you was like, dude, you pissing me off? Kind of how Mr. Gary Russell said to Gary Antoine. So this coach corner, was there something that you wish each fighter would have done, and was there something each fighter was doing that was pissing you off? Let me know something.
For Andy, he was pissing me off because he was kind of ignoring the fact that Antoine Russell was kind of giving him that, like you mentioned early on in the fight. He was kind of setting himself in the corners and on the ropes, and he wasn't really responding to anything that Andy was doing, and Andy wasn't really taking advantage of the moment that he could have sucked the sap out of the tree immediately from rounds two to four, because Gary Antoine Russell was giving him opportunities to do the same thing he got into, once he got to the middle rounds and the later rounds of the fight. But it was pissing me off because I'm like, if you had this in you, why wasn't you exploiting this in the beginning of the match when it got to rounds three? I want to say rounds 3 to 5 or something like that. He wasn't exploiting it, but yet later on he figured it out towards the end of round 5, round 6, and throughout the rest of the fight. that hey, I could have been beating this dude guts to hell, heaven, wherever I want to send him to if I would have been paying attention. And that's a testament to the corner too. They should have noticed that a little bit earlier when it was just kind of the filling out process. You know what I'm saying? If Andy was really game and he was really mentally mature to take the belt, they would have came out round one because the dude got stamina, dude got power. He got stronger as the fight went on. You know what I'm saying? So he got stamina. So he could have done that from rounds 1 through 12, and probably like Capo said, if he would have done it from get go from Jump Street, fresh off the porch, he probably would have got him out of there round 8, round 9, because Gary Antuanne Russell is known to get winded and he'll find the second wind and get back in there. But if he was doing the right thing, he would have been cutting off that wind supply early. Now for like for Russell, like I mentioned earlier, box more, box more, man. You ain't gotta bang it out to give us a show every time you get out there. You ain't gotta risk nothing for us. Box, y'all boys can box. Boxing ability, like just like my boy said, Gary Russell Jr. Turn him and drop something on him and get out the way. It was simple. And then when he was fighting on the outside, his jab and his straight was faster, quicker, more on point, more accurate. You should have been shooting a 1-1-2 down the pipe all night. Pop, pop, turn, pop, pop. Then pepper shot, pop, 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 and then get out the way and reset. But no, you want to risk it all and get in there and bang it out with him, and that's what made the fight closer, in my opinion, when he started landing those big bombs to the body. You know what I'm saying? Cut off his supply a little bit because he did stop fighting. He did get in trouble. But at the same time, those two things I saw from each fighter: lack of commitment for Andy in the beginning rounds, and lack of boxing throughout the entire fight for Gary Antuanne Russell.
Yeah, hopefully Gary Russell's learned from this particular fight, and which I know he will. I know his brothers are going. Because one thing I like about Gary, Mr. Gary Russell, is he don't play games. You heard Gary Russell after the fight, hey, we finna immediately go to the gym. So hopefully he learned from that and grow. You know, they was trying to bait him into talking about fighting Shakur next. Um, I still think he needs some things. He has the tools. I just think it's things that he needs to learn because he could have beat Andy easily if he just would have utilized all the tools that he got. We know this dude. We know Gary Russell can box. We know he can brawl. We know he can do it all. But I think he lacks the experience as far as the knowledge of utilizing it. Because when you fight fighters like this, and I'm not comparing Gary Russell to Floyd or Jerome Bruce or Terrence Crawford, you have to bring everything. You can't leave nothing at home. Y'all going on a road trip, you gotta make sure you going camping. You gotta make sure you got the tent, your food, your mosquito repellent, everything. You gotta bring everything. That's what I mean about this dude right here. You have to bring everything. So, hopefully he learned from this. Um, he kind of got a gift with the unanimous decision. I thought it was a split decision or majority decision, but hey, you know what I mean? Shout out to Antoine Russell. Coach, who do you want to see him go after next? Rich Hitchens is the IBF champion. Dalton Smith is the WBC champion. Shakur Stevenson is the WBO champion, has the Ring Magazine belt. So, who do you want to see him go against next? Do you want to see him go against another champion, or do you feel like he needs another middle of the road fight to kind of get more experience?
Uh, I'll be quite frank. I wouldn't even talk about going to the middle of the road because I feel like that might hinder him some more. Sometimes we get into the mindset of trying to tune up, take one more fight to get better. But at the same time, some of us as trainers and fighters kind of just train down or fight down to the level of competition. So him taking another fight at a lower level competition, I think will hinder him. I think you need to go ahead and step to those three names you just said in order. We can go Hitchinson, and then we can go Smith, and then we go Shakur. I mean, the time is yours. The time is now. You know what I'm saying? Shakur is on the up and up. Continue to let him do his thing while you do your thing. Or 5, 6 spots down from him. Take out number 3, take out number 4. Well, take out four, take out three, and see if you can get two. If you can't get two, then forget it. Go to number one. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, just, I would go ahead and step to that elite talent that's up there, and then I ain't gonna I'm gonna leave this where it's at. But I'm gonna say this real quick. I smell duck sauce when it comes to Hitchison. I don't know. People saying they see snot running from his nose, or was it nervousness? I don't know because you looked good at the weigh-in to me. But that's another story, another topic. But anyways, like I said, go ahead and step to those three guys in order. Go ahead and see if you can get a fight with Richardson Hitchens, see if you can get a fight with Dalton, and then after that, hey, go ahead, try it out, risk it out. Go for Shakur.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. You know, but we'll see. We'll see what brother do.